Hey, what's up everybody? The Crab Gamer here with you as always. Thanks for taking time out to check out another one of my videos. It's greatly appreciated. This video obviously is titled PS4 versus Xbox One. Sony's in trouble, not Microsoft. And I'm going to go ahead and link this article in the description so you guys can check it out. And what's interesting is two things. One thing is, it looks like the media is starting to change sides a little bit. We're starting to see a little bit more of this starting to happen. And when I said a while ago, when or if this ever happens, it's not going to be a good thing for Sony. And basically what this thing goes on to say is what we all know. The PlayStation 4 is winning the sales war right now and things like that. But it goes on to say that okay, I'll read a little bit of this. It says Sony's nabbed some high-profile exclusives, most notably timed exclusivity on some Destiny DLC. Though Destiny itself hasn't been a mega hit for Sony, the hit that Sony and Activision had hoped it would be, the agreement still has political clout. And yet, over the long term, none of that may matter. Microsoft is frankly in a better position. Sony had all the cards in its favor going into the PS4 launch. Microsoft had some major PR hurdles to overcome. Always online functionality, no used games, etc. The Xbox One had a higher MSRP due to Kinect, and Sony grossly outspent Microsoft in advertising, while Microsoft devoted its resources to rebuilding trust among the gaming community. So basically, what a lot of people don't realize is, even though Microsoft has a ton of money, they didn't advertise a lot at the initial launch of the Xbox One. Sony basically blew their entire wad at launch. In case you hadn't noticed, okay, that was my input, but back to the story here. In case you hadn't noticed, this is now November 2014. Those tables have begun to turn. Microsoft has implemented an Xbox One price drop. The company is giving away games for free and a handful of great bundles. Its partnership with the NFL is starting to pay off, and Xbox One ads are flooding the airways of ESPN and major networks like Sony's ads were last year, while Sony's ads are appearing with much less regularity. Some would argue this is all a sign of desperation by Microsoft, considering the hole in which Xbox One sales results find themselves. There's some logic in connecting these dots, but more than likely it's an opportunistic and proactive decision to win the marathon, quote-unquote, as Microsoft has called it, rather than the sprint. While Sony basks in the high PS4 sales results, the number of must-have exclusives Sony's negotiated is surprisingly small, considering the console's 13 million plus install base. Furthermore, Sony suffered a massive $806 million loss during the previous quarter, and that was lower than investors had initially feared. By comparison, Microsoft announced revenue of $23.20 billion in quarter 3. Those revenues results have a direct relationship to video games, and it's foolish to think otherwise. Foolish to think otherwise. Sony Corp has seemingly become reliant on PlayStation 4 to keep its company afloat. If the company is struggling in other realms, particularly its mobile division, can gamers honestly expect Sony Computer Entertainment to pursue a PS4 price drop anytime soon? Can the PlayStation faithful really expect Sony to pay handsomely for future exclusives when its parent needs every ounce of profit from the PS4 unit? On the flip side, Microsoft has a mountain of cash, and while new Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella has taken some dramatic cost-cutting measures, he's clearly shown a willingness to invest in Xbox. Price cuts, check. New partnerships that Sony doesn't have, like EA Access, check. Giving away games and new holiday bundles, check. The adage in Las Vegas is that you have to have money to make money. Microsoft has it, Microsoft is spending it, and by all accounts, Microsoft will continue to spend it to close the sales gap. The goal, of course, is to win the PS4 versus Xbox One battle. And it goes on to say that basically Sony has a good lead, but Microsoft is really doing a good job at turning the tables and catching up, and they're set up better for the long term than Sony is, because Sony, let's face it, doesn't have the money to compete that Microsoft has. It's clear that their games lineup isn't going to be able to compete, and this is a lot of the stuff that I said. Sony's lackluster money-making ability as a whole company is going to directly affect the games that come to the PS4. Same thing with the Xbox. Their ability to make money as a company, as Microsoft, is going to be able to land them games. I mean, they bought Minecraft, and even though that's still going to be multi-platform due to all those deals being signed beforehand, in the future they could always do stuff like that with even bigger games. It's not a big deal to them. So you got to think about this, and please check out this article. We're starting to see a tide turning a little bit, and I think it's pretty interesting. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comment section. Rate, comment, subscribe. Rack 'em up. Crab Gamer out.